Welcome everybody to another beautiful day in the neighborhood. We are on day 20/6. Hard to believe, isn't it? All 15 are still alive and kicking. Everybody was just napping. It looks like they're all coming over to say hi. Of course, as we all know, I bought these chickens all at the same time. We've got some size discrepancies here. Oh, poor little laddie and Jack. They're teeny tiny in here, but they hold their own. They don't let them get too bullying with them. There's a lot of fun. Great fun, especially Fiddle and Faddle. Fiddle and Faddle are absolute riots. They'll come right over. Won't you, bro? Maybe not today. They're very friendly birds. Good birds. I really like this pine much better. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but it's much better than the fine shredded. Much better than that, and better than the stuff that Rural King has, I think. It's seems drier and fluffier, maybe. I don't know. They pulled my piece of cardboard down. They really like that. They like to lay out on it under the light and get their wings heated up. They're funny how they lounge. You can see Jack's kind of doing it there. But Falco is the queen of lounging. She likes to fluff up the bedding and lounge, stick her wings and her legs out. They're hilarious. And then over here in the kindergarten group, we've got Mofo. Mofo is turning into something different. I'm starting to wonder if he's actually a chicken. I'm not sure what's going on. We've got lots of different colors going on here. I'm starting to think that Mofo was one of the rainbows. So it's hard to tell what she's going to come out like. Very interesting to watch it take place. She's about ready to go into the first grade classroom because she's getting huge, and little Parabola getting very tall. Those little tail feathers are really coming out. They really grew out a lot today, and then still nothing. Just a little bit of a poofy tail. That's about it. But if you look, her feathers, they're like curly on the bottoms. It's the strangest thing. She's growing. I think she's going to be all right. And then Fifi, little Fifi, and Wi-Fi. I think, see, I named Parabol and Parabola, I named them that because they're two of my favorite songs by a band named Tool. Not everybody's cup of tea, I know that, but I'm quite fond of those two pieces of music, and they work together. They're two different tracks on the album, but one kind of leads right into the other. So it's kind of awkward only having one chicken now, Parabol being gone and Parabola still kicking, because you can't really have one without the other. So I thought about changing her name to Parabola. So it's both songs in one, because like I said, you can't have one without the other. And look at Mofo. Just look at that. What is happening? Could be one of the browns. Could just be coming in differently than the other ones are. They're starting to get a little bit of brown in their feathers, but nothing like that. I thought it was poo, but no, it's colored feathers. And then Fifi has a red head. It's starting to turn red, kind of a brownish red, and then Wi-Fi has got the yellow turning brown on her head. But their feathers aren't doing this. They're not turning into chicken hawks. So we'll see what happens there. Interesting. Oh, Falco coming over to see everyone. The condor. She's just so giant. It's incredible. She had to have been at least 5 days older than the other ones. There's just no way she got that big that fast. And the other ones, I mean, even the little rainbows, Fiddle and Faddle, they're keeping up. But man, she is just giant, and she got there quick. And Jack, I was noticing today he was up on the high wire, is starting to get some of that brown down through his neck like Mofo is. So that just might be the ISA browns that are coming out there. Very, very possible. And then we go to the preschoolers. The Mad Peeper, Harriet. Hello, Harriet. You know, I think I've figured out what's wrong with Harriet. And this is going to sound really dumb because they're chickens, and why would chickens think that way? But again, Harriet is the Mad Peeper. She'll literally just stand on this rock right here and just peep, 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 peep. And she's fed, she's watered, she's diapered. What could possibly be the problem? Well, we have Ozzy and Gwen over here, who are the same breed. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not Ozzy. That's Chip. Chip, you silly, you fooled me. Ozzy, there you are. You got Ozzy and Gwen over here, who are, I do believe, Brahmas. And then we've got the chipmunk, the chipmunk friends here, Chip and Dale. And they're the same color, but I don't think they're the same breed. But poor little Harriet's all alone. She's the only one of her breed. I think she's a Sapphire Splash, possibly. But she's all alone, and she'll just stand on her little rock and peep, peep, peep. That's the only thing I can figure. Unless she's got some kind of internal problem that's causing her strife and causing her to peep like a mad chick, then that might be it. But I think I think she's just lonely, and that's odd because she's in here with 4 other chickens. But she kind of isolates herself. I've noticed that the chickens actually kind of self-segregate. Like Fiddle and Faddle stick to each other, like they hang out together a lot. And I think that Laddie and Jack, they're the 2 smaller ones in the 1st grade room. I think they stick together because of their size. And then you have Falco, that's just Falco. But then even down here in this box, you have Parabol and Felicity that hang out together all the time, and they're usually side by side when they perch at night. And then you've got the 3 yellows that hang out by them, like, together. It's really, really strange. I found that odd, but I think that's what Harriet's problem is. I think she doesn't have another chicken her breed, and she feels like she's alone. She just stands there and peeps. So that's the only thing I can figure, is that there's some discrimination going on in the preschool classroom. The DEI training has been deployed. Maybe these guys are just too new and they haven't got the memo yet, but we accept all kinds here, friends. We are friends of the feather, not friends of the chicken. So, you know, not friends of Brahmas or friends of starlights. No, we're friends of the feather. And those are feathers, therefore she's a friend. Peeps are friends, not food. So yeah, another breaking news, the railroad industry is trying to kill us. Someone is. It really feels that way. With the train derailment. I did a little thing about it earlier, but I'll tell you what. Something ain't right, y'all. There's something going on. It's super shady. I watched the press conference, or listened to it, with the governor and all the EPA and the Department of Natural Resources and all the appropriate experts. And they were talking about testing in the tributaries around the leak, and said that it was contained and that further down the tributaries the toxins fell down to below detectable levels. Well, those tributaries go straight into the Ohio, which comes right by my house. So I later on in the same press conference, they were talking about, a different person was talking about how the Ohio River is a very large body of water, and that these harmful chemicals dilute quickly because of the amount of water to chemical, and that they have plans, as the chemicals travel down the river, they're going to shut off the drinking water supplies and let the chemicals pass, and then reopen the drinking water. So when I think about that, I think so. Does it not settle? Does, are the fish going to take a vacation as well? Are we going to relocate them and maybe just we'll just net the entire river and get all the fish out and put them in a safe location while these chemicals pass? You know, untold amounts of frustration with that. Because I'm told that I need to be recycling to save the planet, or I need to be buying an electric vehicle. I need to get rid of my truck so that I can save the planet. You just dumped a bunch of you guys just dumped a bunch of chemicals up in Ohio. I don't think my electric vehicle is going to compensate that much for what you just did. And then I find out during this press conference that there's some kind of deal that has been worked between the EPA and these chemical companies to where they got some of these hazardous chemicals listed as non-toxic or something to that effect. And so when they haul these hazardous chemicals, not only do they not have to pay the extra fees for hauling hazardous chemicals, there's different permits that they have to haul this stuff. It has to be very carefully monitored and measured and kept track of because of its hazardous qualities. But these chemicals that were in this train were not listed as toxic because the EPA doesn't list them as toxic. So what the hell? What is that? So yeah, there's 50 different shades of shade going on with this train derailment thing. And of course, everybody's in this mass hysteria about, everyone wants to be scared or wants to be made to feel safe, or something is going on, some kind of collective consciousness madness where I don't understand what is going on. Like, people are talking about all of these different tankers, like 18 wheelers that have fallen over. There was one that I just saw a video of in Arizona that it was literally like billowing orange and yet bright yellow smoke. Like, I guess it was supposed to be nitric acid that spilled on this highway. I'm hearing about other train derailments that are kind of shady because they're not really talking about it and what exactly was on the cars. So, feels like everything's falling apart, doesn't it? It's really, really unsettling. And what do you do? I mean, I buy chickens, start a garden, I guess. That's what I'm doing. I started a garden today, and I started early because I'm thinking about setting up like an area to have like an indoor grow area in my basement so I can have year-round veggies. But I started today with my plants. And let me just show you my plants here. So I bought this little tray, and for anyone who's never done indoor gardening before, don't ever buy these, or maybe someone has a better idea of how to use them than I do. Probably should have read the instructions. But this was all very dry soil, so I had to like soak it to get it to moisten up and actually become workable, usable soil. But so far we've done broccoli and we've done cabbage. So those are two that you can start early. I've got a whole box full of seeds that I'm going to start growing plants. Again, I'm the only person in my house that eats vegetables, really, but we might have to turn some people into green eaters because I don't know what's going to happen. So we've got chickens, we've got seeds. I find it very hard to believe that these little tiny seeds are going to grow out of this. They were extremely tiny. They said it takes usually, I think it's like 7 to 10 days for the cabbage and like 8 to 10 for the broccoli to start sprouting. They're right here in front of this giant window, which gets great sun through the day. Hopefully we work. I don't know. I'm feeling dubious. I keep houseplants, but I've never actually planted and grown vegetables like this. So, yes, I am brand new. Look at me go. So I'd say I've probably gone on quite long enough. I'm going to change out some water again. Yep. And call it a day, I think. They'll say, Happy Valentine's Day!